Yes, Brad.
The financial literacy course. Do you want to focus on that first, or do you want to focus on the business first?
Yeah, no, let's focus on that first. It's an interesting one. I've been working on this for a couple of years. Pitched it around to a few schools. They love the idea. They love the approach. And I've always the initial goal was to get it into every school in Ireland and the UK. And having done 30X, I was like, hang on a second. One of the things I'd forgotten with Action Coach was grow your people to grow your business. So I'm now concentrating on all the people again and growing them to grow the business with everything else. And I can concentrate on this a wee bit more. And then I was like, why am I stopping at Ireland and the UK? Why do I not turn this into a 100 million euro company and get it into 100 countries? So that's where my mindset is now.
Right.
And you always say, big, hairy, audacious goal. I have no idea how to get there, but by God, do I want to learn how to do it.
Yeah. And so you threw out the 100 million. You know, I run a course called the $100 Million Week, right?
So go and inform me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we do, just from an education side of it, and Gona, could you please connect Michael with Anthony Woods? Remember Anthony who did 100 million? He built an insurance company, sold that. Now he's building a topsoil company. He's based in Ireland, and he has a goal also similar to you about childhood education. So top man, and if the two of you want to chat. Now, the other thing so with the course, what I do is through the 6 courses is I actually teach all of the things during the year, during the 2-day virtuals. And then that 5-day one is where we actually come together and plan what it is that we're going to do to build a $1 billion business plan. So we build $1 billion because I aim to build $1 billion so you get 100 million exit. Right? That's sort of the idea behind it. And I think it's challenging for people when you first start at it to say, okay, how do we build $1 billion operation? Well, you know, until you sit down and actually go through the format of how we do it, it's hard to come up with. But if you look at the education of kids, there's two things I'd like you to study. One, there's a lady who's a good friend of mine, Sharon Lecter. She got it introduced into schools in Arizona for them to, she was the co-author, or she actually wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. She was the actual writer of it. Robert Kiyosaki had the idea and Sharon wrote the book. Her husband, Michael, was the one that was the patent attorney for the cash flow board game that Robert Kiyosaki put out. Sharon got it introduced into legislation in Arizona that kids had to be taught in high school financial education, financial literacy. And so, you know, when you look at building something as big as that, it's a movement that you sort of have to build first and a desire first. You can push it into schools, Michael, but you've got to have it pulled in. Like if the schools all come looking for it and hunting for it because it's now the rules and you're the best product out there, when you want to get to that size, it's got to be pulled through, not pushed through, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so looking at how you can go to countries and places where that is the way it is already is the starting point. The other thing is News Limited. Now, I forget the name of the company. Gona, you might be able to type in just a Google search for this. News Limited started an education division. And so what Rupert Murdoch asked this division to do, and it's kind of weird that you've got Rupert over here recreating the entire education system on the other side. What they went looking for is how do we change the whole education system? Okay, how do we actually do that? How do we, and just the study of how they did it, I think you'll find really, really worthwhile in helping you understand where you're going. So what they essentially found was if we have the best of the best courses on video and the kids watch the videos at home and then come to school and the teacher, like opposite of what we do now. They go to school, they watch the video or the teacher tells them the stuff, and then they come home to us as parents and we try and help them assimilate the knowledge. Like I get in more trouble with my teachers' kids for teaching them math the wrong bloody way than like, you can't, but that way's stupid. I don't know why you would do it that way. This is so much simpler. Long division's bloody easy. No. Anyway, but so the video-based learning and the other, now an interesting thought might be, Michael, how do you do it with a charitable aspect on the side so that there are people driving it? You know, for every school that gets it, for every school that pays, a school gets it for free. For every, you know, that sort of a thing, to give it that, there is a reason. Like Tom's shoes, you know, every time someone buys a pair of shoes, a kid in Africa gets a free pair of shoes. You know, all of those sorts of aspects to it. When this one here, when we wrote this one of the 5 disciplines of scale is mission. That to scale a business, to build something massive, there has to be some form of mission behind it. It can't just be about the money. If you want people to get on side with you and have it from that way. So I would also then research who else is doing this out there in the marketplace that would want your information. Now, the other way to look at it is, can you do it through not schools, but through banks? Is there a bank that wants to do financial literacy education with kids, you know, and they push it through and sponsor it into schools and that sort of thing, you know, so it's seen as their initiative, but you're driving it. When you go to scale a massive business, business becomes a real team sport at that point in time. You know, in fact, Mike just held up the book, Who Not How. It really is about, who do I need to partner with to make that a reality? Who do I need on my team? You know, one of the big things for us when I sat down and said to my team that we're going from hundreds of millions to billions, I asked them the question, who do we need as partners? Who are the partners we need? And we looked at it. Well, we need governments, we need banks, we need massive partners to achieve massive results. Or we need like a Microsoft, or we need like a Costco, or do you know what I mean? Like someone that represents all the small businesses. They've already got 10 million small business customers. Great, let's piggyback off them. If they gave one of our courses to free to every small business owner, then hey, presto.
Okay.
Another way, Michael, might be like, even if you chat with my team at the ActionCOACH Foundation in the UK there, we do education, entrepreneurial education for young people. So have a chat to Karen's in the States. What's our team member in the UK that runs the charity? Gona can connect you anyway. So James I forget her name for right now, but just in terms of that scale size thing, it's such a different mindset that we approach things with. It's not about getting one school at a time. It's about getting a whole country. Yeah.
And that's the way I need to be thinking. And that's what 30X said, just think a different way. So I've gone, right, I've been wanting to do this for ages. Now I figured out, think a different way.
Yeah. And that's where, like, if you partnered with the World Bank or UNICEF, or, you know, I know UNICEF has a massive, my neighbor was the ex-chair of UNICEF, and she talks about that they have a massive mandate to educate young women. Because in a lot of countries, the third world countries specifically, a lot of young women can't get jobs and have to start their own business and have to go into it themselves. So I know they have a whole program doing that. But to go something that big, find someone to help you, or find someone that wants it to as much or more than you do. I always found that marketing is real easy when someone wants it as much or more than you do. Like if you look at your other business, Michael, being in the pubs, who wants you to sell beer to your customers more than you do? Every beer company in the country, they're running massive ads to tell people, go to Michael's pubs and drink my beer. Like they want you selling more or as much or more than you do.
Yeah.
So over to that business, what can we do on that business? What can we look at with that one?
On the pub side of things, pub side of things, I'm happy with. I spend an hour a week running that business, and I learned that through ActionCOACH. Those pubs are in Edinburgh, and I live in Ireland. So
So you've become the coach. You've become the coach. Yeah, that's. I always say to people when they start out, my goal is for you to run the business the way I'm running it now. Like if I'm coaching you, I'm working an hour a week coaching you. Your job is to become the 1 hour a week coach of your own business. Yeah.
We still use the quarterly plan. We meet up for that. We review where we are in the quarterly plan. We review the accounts. And Stocktaker comes in each month and we review those. That's working perfect. I don't want to expand that anymore. The distribution business in Ireland, actually, this is a brand from Australia. Well, it's from South Korea, but it's an Australian company. Soul Tonic. They just won food stars in Australia. But anyway, I can get
it's an alcoholic product or a non-alcoholic?
No, it's a premium hangover tonic. So you drink it. Makes the hangover less. But anyway, we're bringing that into Ireland. It's on the water from South Korea today, funny enough. And I've never had a product that nobody else in the country has, so I wanted with the nationals, and I've never dealt with the nationals. Quite hard to get it sit down in front of them. So, lots of tips on 30X about how, lumpy mail and different things to get their attention.
Flip it over. Yes, you can get their attention, but flip it over. Pull, same as we just talked about, a pull strategy, not a push strategy.
Yeah.
Now, if you go and get on some of these micro-influencer websites, there's sites that now you can go to, like GleeWee and a bunch of them, where they bring together all of the influencers, and the influencers go in there. It's like an affiliate portal, but this is a portal for micro influencers, right? So if you go in and you find 200 micro influencers that you then just pay a few dollars, plus you give them the product, they promote the product, sell the product for you, they push it out there into the marketplace, then people go start asking for the product, and it's the pull-through strategy. Yeah. One of my favorite ever marketing books was My Life in Advertising and Scientific Advertising. It was written in like the 23 and 25 or 25 and 27. You can buy it as 2 books in one. Someone republished it, Claude Hopkins. And one of the stories he talked about in there is how everyone was so busy doing push strategies, trying to get their products into supermarkets. He went the other way and gave away vouchers to everyone to go to the supermarkets and get the product. And he would then go to the supermarket and say, hey, listen, I'm about to do this campaign. Do you guys want to be the person locally that has the product or not? And so it's if you go to them with, hey, we're about to do this campaign, or even, Michael, and this is it's a simple but very effective strategy. Give 5% of the company to a massive influencer in the space of what you're doing, and hey, presto. Jennifer Aniston was one of the first to ever do that with this product, Smart Bloody Water. So there you go. I'm still drinking it today. And that she was one of the first ones to take a share, rather than, if you look at a great example from over your way, Ryan Reynolds is the guy that bought Wrexham Football Club. Yeah. Well, that guy has a gin company. He has a mobile phone company. He has. And all of it is he uses the celebrity factor and picks a market and goes after it real hard. So if you look at that product, which segment of the market are you going to go after? Is it girls? Is it guys? Who is it that you're going after with the product?
80% sales are to females.
Great. So you want female influencers, you want all of that sort of stuff. And I know that you already know this side of the business. How does a liquor company get liquor sold in places? They go and do shows in different pubs. Like they send a couple of promo girls in to do the thing and do all that stuff. One of my buddies has a company doing that exact same product over here. He's in every nightclub or day club doing giveaways to everybody, goes through the club giving them giveaways, that sort of thing. And hey, presto, introduces the product. I mean, you know that side of the business better than all of us.
Yeah, liquid to lips.
Yep. As soon as they've tried it, hey, presto, next thing. Some massive festivals. You might know an owner of a couple of pubs that you can try it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's. I'm a firm believer today. Pull strategies are as strong or better than push strategies. I own a percentage of a beer company, and my partner in it is a famous hockey player. I whore him out like nothing on earth. I put him into pubs and bars, and just anytime I can get him into a bar, I put him in there. If I've got him for a night, I'll have him in 5 different pubs in 5 different areas of town. And when we go in there, I get big bobblehead things of him, those big heads. I get standees of him. I get all sorts of stupid stuff, and everyone takes it, and it's got the beer, it's got the whole thing, but everyone loves it. You know what I mean? It's like, and it just changes. And we see it with the supermarkets in that area. If we do a pub, the next month, that supermarket will sell out of our product. We know that sort of thing. So it's just a matter of making certain that we do it. And it also gets us on tap handles. We pick pubs that don't have us on a tap, go in there. Now we're on the handle, we're in, But
I love that strategy.
The micro influencers and a massive influencer would be a great thing.
Yeah.
But even with the product, I would even look at how you can do, because social media today is about 2 things, right? One is social proof. So when someone goes to buy from you, like your pub, Michael, if I was going to go to your pub and I was deciding where to eat, I look up social media to see what it looks like when people are there. It's a social proof site. But the second thing about social media is it's what other people are saying about you. So how do you get every customer to do a post of them drinking it or taking it, or can you hang tags on every single bloody bottle that says, hey, hashtag this, and you go in for a prize? We're giving away, we're giving away a car, we're giving away a pub. We're going to give away a pub at the end of the year. And how do you do? I mean, you build it into the cost of the whole thing. You go and buy some shitty pub in the middle of nowhere, and you give it away. I mean, we're giving away a pub for anyone that does a video of themselves drinking this, and they'll go in the entry. I'm just making that stuff up.
I know. I know where you're coming from.
But you want every single time someone goes like this with your product, you want to see it on social media. So how do you get them to do that? What incentive do you bring to them to do that stuff? It's too easy. Like we invested in a beef business, and simply by changing the packaging and putting a thing on the outside, here's how to do an unboxing video. Like, people unbox it, they take it out, it's all frozen in there, they take it out, they removing the things, they show everyone, oh, look at this tomahawk steak we got, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. Simply by telling them how to do it and what hashtag to put on it and how to tag us, all of a sudden, we had 100 times more people talking about us than did before.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So those sorts of things. And that's where even having the promo team go out to pubs and stuff, doing the promo thing, having people take photos with the promo staff, giving away T-shirts or whatever you give away. And Okay. But that sounds fun. That's a fun product.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about that. Just a wee question on the money mentor, the financial literacy. Is it a good area to go into education, because schools don't have great spending budgets? Am I going down the wrong track, or is it? I think it needs a partner to monetize it in different ways.
Yeah, look, I would struggle to see schools paying you for it. If you look at Dave Ramsey does education of financial education into schools, and he does it through a charity and through, so study his model. He here in the States is doing that quite dramatically. I know my kids' school taught them about it. His program was run in my kids' high school. It's a private high school. Maybe private schools is the answer, Michael, to start with.
Yeah.
Private schools have plenty of money.
Yeah, they do. And there's a year in Ireland, 4th year before you do the final 2 years, they have a budget, but not every country has that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Private schools definitely have budgets.
Yeah. Super.
Have you put it into a book format?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because most like you look at the schooling system, and it's still quite backwards in most ways. The textbook business is the biggest part of the schooling business. And so, how is it a textbook? How is it a course they can get paid for by the government? Maybe universities is another way, because they've got budget.
Yeah. And actually, I started writing it for university first in 18 to 25-year-olds, and then I brought it back to the schools to get them started on it earlier.
Yeah, I wrote the book, The Wealth Coach, for my kids, essentially. And then I gave it to a couple of my buddies and said, would your kids read this? And they both read it and said, hey, Brad, there's a problem with this book. I don't even know this stuff. How can I give it to my kids? So it's like, all right, I rewrote the book so it made sense to adults and kids type thing. So,
okay, yeah. I showed this to teachers and they said, oh my God, we need to do this course.
And maybe that is your in. Maybe you go to schools offering it for free to teachers, build a charity that teaches teachers for free this stuff, and then
let the pupils do it. Yeah.